Good morning. I am Day. DAA are my initials. I am in recovery from loss, grief, trauma, and addiction. In my years of active recovery, I have found that upon awakening, it is useful to affirm and devote myself to the me of my recovery, the one that ties all of the pieces together gently, lovingly, and sometimes even fiercely to face each day. With these daily affirmations, reflections, devotions, and meditations, walk with me on the recovery journey of hope, renewal, resilience, and self reflection. And remember that you are not alone, one day at a time. Fair use. Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. January 3rd. Filling the void. We needed to ask ourselves but one short question. Do I now believe, or am I even willing to believe, that there is a power greater than myself? As soon as a man can say that he does believe or is willing to believe, we empathetically assure him that he is on his way. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 47. I was always fascinated with the study of scientific principles. I was emotionally and physically distant from people while I pursued absolute knowledge. God and spirituality were meaningless academic exercises. I was a modern man of science. Knowledge was my higher power. Given the right set of equations, life was merely another problem to solve. Yet my inner self was dying from my outer man's solution to life's problems, and the solution was alcohol. In spite of my intelligence, alcohol became my higher power. It was through the unconditional love which emanated from AA people and meetings that I was able to discard alcohol as my higher power. The great void was filled. I was no longer lonely and apart from life. I had found a true power greater than myself. I had found God's love. There is only one equation which really matters to me now. God is in AA. Fair use. Courage to change one day at a time in Al Anon. February 3. As newcomers to Al Anon, I heard that the principles of the program could lead to serenity. I'd have preferred to hear that the program would cure the alcoholic, undo the damage of the past, or at least pay the gas bill. My idea of serenity was sitting on a mountaintop with a silly grin on my face, not caring very much about anything. I was more interested in passion. Eventually, I realized that serenity didn't have to strip me of my passion. Instead, it offered me a sense of inner security that freed me to live my life as fully and passionately as I pleased, because it tapped into an unlimited source of energy and wisdom, a higher power. I could make strong choices and take risks because with this help, I was better able to deal with anything that happened. Nothing can compare to the drama of exploring my full potential as a human being. Once I had a taste of the rich life that could be mine with the help of Al Anon and my higher power, I discovered that serenity was a great treasure. Today's reminder: Today I seek serenity, knowing that when I am serene, I am capable of being more fully and more passionately myself. Without this program, I could not have appreciated how truly wonderful my life can be in spite of difficult situations in all our affairs. Fair use. Just for today, daily meditations for recovering addicts. February 3rd. We need each other. Anyone may join us regardless of age, race, sexual identity, creed, religion, or lack of religion. Basic text, page 9. Addiction closed our minds to anything new or different. We didn't need anyone or anything we thought. There was nothing of value to be found in anyone from a different neighborhood, a different racial or ethnic background, or a different social or economic class. We may have thought that if it was different, it was bad. In recovery, we can't afford such attitudes. We came to NA because our very best thinking had gotten us nowhere. We must open our minds to experience what works no matter where it comes from if we hope to grow in our recovery. Regardless of our personal backgrounds, we all have two things in common with one another in NA that we share with no one else: our disease and our recovery. We depend on one another for our shared experience, and the broader that experience, the better. We need every bit of experience, every different angle on our program we can find to meet the many challenges of living clean. Recovery often isn't easy. The strength we need to recover, we draw from our fellow NA members. Today, we are grateful for the diversity of our group's membership, for in that diversity we find our strength. Just for today, I know that the more diverse my group's experience is, the better able my group will be to offer me support in the different circumstances I find myself facing. Today, I welcome addicts from all backgrounds to my home group. Fair use. Today, Emotions Anonymous. February 3rd. Reflection for today. Intimacy is not referring only to sexual relationships. Intimacy is being very close to someone, someone we trust, someone with whom we can share our deepest thoughts and feelings. We all need an intimate relationship, even those who might vehemently, excuse me, express they do not. To have someone truly know us and still accept us gives us the human bonding we need to find our existence meaningful. We are lovable. We do count. We are worthwhile. Yet, we will never come to this realization unless we leave the door to our heart open. Meditation for today. May I have the humility to be myself and let someone else know something I have been hiding. Today I will remember each time we risk being vulnerable and are accepted, we feel love. We also discover a greater awareness of our value. Fair use. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. February 3rd. Step 2. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. BRB, page 130. When we heard restore us to sanity, some of us tried to remember when we had ever even felt sane. We had lived obsessed with control and were addicted to our families of origin. Step two was a revelation when we realized how the dysfunction and insanity of our childhood had affected us. Our inventories and step work guided us on the journey inward that would lead to our true selves. We saw that we needed to allow the long suppressed emotions and voices to surface. The voices came from our inner child. We learned that our insanity had kept us from paying attention, but we needed to hear our full story, so we began to listen. This helped us step out of our shaming shadows and into the light. We began to realize that our personal higher power had been there inside of us to guide us all along. We were finally learning to embrace our feelings and not cover them up with addictions. As we continued to recover, we realized that feeling sane meant taking care of ourselves, not just emotionally, but physically too. For some of us, this was a first. On this day, I will have faith in a power greater than myself. I will give myself permission to explore what that is for me, no matter what it looks like for others. You have just listened to DHB Recovery Network Daily Affirmations, Reflections, Devotions, and Meditations, read by me, Day. Share, subscribe, like, and most of all, be the you that you are created to be.